everyone, and welcome to another exciting adventure of whatever the heck you call this. I'm your host, Demetrius, and I'm doing the dishes. Reading through some of the comments I'd gotten on my last, which I very much appreciate and thank you for. A question stuck in my mind, and that was by user 9-Winged Turkey. I hope I said that right, 9-Winged, 9-Winged. Anyway, the point of the matter is that he asked me, he has said that his mother works for the UK cancer research, as a cancer research scientist, and the question was why he had no passion for science, and could he blame school? Well, yes. Yes, you can. You can blame school and yourself, which is kind of disappointing. But that's besides the point. I'm sorry, I'm also doing the dishes. I think I mentioned that already. You see, the thing is, I was planning on coming home and making a video. And then my wife asked me to do the dishes, and I thought, sure, why not? I don't have anything else planned for the night. Oh, except to make a video. Well, there we are. Kill two birds with one stone, I always say. But I'm not actually that violent. I should probably clarify. Anyway, so I am doing the dishes, which is also actually kind of sciencey. Did you know, by the way, that there's actually chemistry to be had in doing the dishes? It's a lot of fun. Molecular chemistry is happening as you're doing dishes. You see, the thing is, when you're doing the dishes, you have water and you have soap, right? Well, most of us. Some people just use hot water. I don't know if you want to eat at their house. I'm just saying. You have the water, you have the soap. Okay, so we start with that. Now, as you begin to mix the two, the soap has two different sides to it. You could call it bipolar, except it's not, but you could say so. And it's got two different sides, a sticky side or a hydrophilic side that really likes water, and a non-sticky side that's also sticky but to other things except water, which is hydrophobic. Sort of. So, moving along, you go through the whole process, and as you begin to mix them, soap begins to make bubbles, and those bubbles are formed by that hydrophobic side, the non-sticky side, the side that essentially says, no, water, I want nothing to do with you. So it pushes through the surface of the water, separating the tension just enough to touch and mix with the oxygen and the grease in some of the things you're cleaning, which is why you get big soap bubbles. Now these are pretty small, than that little guy right there, that's a pretty big one. But they're big because of the fact that there's grease on there, which means my dishes are dirty, and I apologize. Wow, am I going to probably get in trouble for this? Okay. Moving right along, back to 9-Winged Turkey's question. Can you blame school? Yes, yes you can, and you can also blame yourself. Two ways, and it's not a bad thing, just something to think about. What does science mean to you? What part of science means to you? Your mother works in the medical field, at least it sounds like, as a cancer research scientist. So she's working with medicine, or at least researching cancer in the medical field, assisting with the medical developments, etc., etc., etc. Maybe there's things within technology, for example, the technology part of science that you could be interested in or studying. What part of science do you love most? What part of science do you think appeals most to you? Because, this is the point of the matter is, realistically, science is multifaceted. You have to pick something about it that interests you most. So your mother went with, at least it sounds like, cancer research. She's a cancer research scientist, so she loves data. Lots and lots of data. On something specific, at least it sounds like. Do you like data? Because if not, maybe that's where your passion lies. Did you know that it's very scientific to blow something up and then explain why? That's going to be one of my other videos, in fact. I'm going to blow something up, and then I'm going to explain why. And it's going to be fun. Why? Because things that blow up are fun, and science is fun. So, I guess my question for you would be, what part of science do you want to see? What part of science do you think you could fall in love with? Because when you know that, you will know what kind of science, or what part of science, or what aspect of science, or whatever you want to say, interests you the most. You could become passionate about it. Some people it's technology, other people it's medicine, other people it's psychology. The list goes on and on. I met a wonderful woman today who is a biochemist. And she's a biochemist research, so all she does, she's a research scientist for biochemistry, so she has piles and piles and piles of data, and that's it. But she loves that. She thinks it's fascinating. I love applied quantum mechanics. Now, is that comparable? No, they're both pretty hard. But the point of the matter is, it's something I love, and I love it because it interests me. At the end of the day, you just have to pick something. So my question for you is, what are you passionate about? What about life do you love? And if you really do want to be interested in science, or maybe you don't, and you didn't realize how much of life you just love in general, what is sciencey about your life? I work with computers on a day-to-day basis, and computer sciences can be fun, but when you do it every single day, it tends to get boring. So that's why I work with computer sciences and psychology, or computer sciences and math, or computer sciences and explosions, because all of those have some realm of science that can be touched on. I would encourage you to find one. And if not, I will help you find one because I love science, as I'm sure you all have heard me say 1,344 times. I love science, and because of that, I'm willing to help you in any way, shape, or form. Or if nothing else, do these stupid experiments that somebody should die from because you know what? I like to be daring. That's what I keep telling myself. And if I have enough people pushing me to do something, I'll probably do it without realizing the danger or the insanity behind it. How could you blame this on school? Well, think about it. School gives you a very brief interview into what science is. They kind of touch on all the different aspects of science at once, and just enough to get you through, to get you a basic understanding. So if somebody was to come up to you and say, "Oh, that Newton guy with that apple," you know what they were talking about. But if somebody was to come up to you and say, "Oh, by the way, did you know that equations can be multiplied by infinity plus 1 or plus 2 or plus 3, and did you know that infinity in and of itself can actually be more than infinity?" No! Nobody's going to explain that to you, and you think that's just math. It's not just math. Math is science. Science is math. Well, sort of. Kind of. These things exist. They're all out there. These things exist. They're all... This is very awkward. See, I talk with my hands a lot about a lot of things, and right now I'm talking with my hands. And I'm wearing the dish gloves. The dish gloves, as you can now see, are styled after a French maid. This does not help my case at all. My bow tie is crooked. Science has multifacets. It's multi-everything. It's like a giant octopus with a lot more arms than 8, because that'd be weird. And a giant octopus with a lot more arms than 8 would be weird. This has gone completely wrong. So, that's all I have for you today, because I have to finish these dishes, because if I don't, I will get in trouble. I promise you that. I know some of you know Mallory, and I know some of you have seen her videos, and she is a delight, and she is very sweet, and she is also a venomous viper, who, if you make her angry, she will hurt you. I promise. I've seen it happen. I'm a big guy. I am not small. I am not tiny by any means. She, right there. Because of that, I am afraid. If I am afraid, be afraid. Be very, very afraid. You kids have a fantastic night, enjoy the sunshine, and if you don't have sunshine where you're at, know that I'm enjoying sunshine for you, and if that doesn't come for you, then I don't know what will, and I'm sorry. Bye! Do the stupidest, that I, for one, just forgot what my video's about.